this year I showed you 18 ways how I organise the tools in my workshop shed. Well, here's a few more I've been working on. First, let's create a proper home for my glues, tapes and fillers that were either scattered on shelves or in boxes. And I knew I wasn't using this section of wall as effectively as I could. I planned on making some cabinets from offcuts because wood is very expensive right now, but acquired some metal lockers instead. Although I needed to create some sort of shelf inserts to maximise on space. Really basic, I used some offcuts and, although awkwardly, screwed some legs inside because it wasn't possible to build something and then push it in. And I even managed to get my paints and stains in there, the stuff that I less frequently use.
New surface for offcuts.
Next, with the tool wall that I changed in my last video, it meant I had to sacrifice an offcut drill bit holder. I temporarily labelled them in food bags and stored them in a bucket, which was not fun when I wanted to grab one. I found this drawer system in B&Q, an impulse purchase, with the intention of mounting it between my shed studs and cut a noggin to support it. Because I've got double glazing either side, I went for pocket holes and screwed it in between the stud work using a spirit level. And this noggin is the same depth as the rest of it because I plan on later insulating and ply lining the whole shed. I screwed an OSB shelf on top and more protruding bits around and another noggin with a shelf screwed from underneath. Now, while filling these, I wasn't totally happy with the movement of the bottom shelf. So I later changed it for one around the studs and screwed some more supports in front of the first noggin and a lip as a precaution. But once the shed is insulated, I'll be adding gallows brackets there. Now for the fun part, adding some dividers to maximise on space in the compartments. I cut up some double glazing packers to slot into the grooves, but added some blue tack around to prevent any of my really small drill bits from getting mixed up, and named each drawer using my first ever Dymo label maker. This was quite fun. Much better. With the new blank space I had on my tool wall, I rejigged a corner to mount some new magnetic tool holders that I bought. This then allowed me to get my screwdrivers out of the other bucket. I found these really cheap, I'll leave a link below, and they come in a set of 3. And I'm going to fast forward to the longer one that I've mounted upright to store some spanners that were also in a bag. So what do you do with all your paint rags? Well, you store them in a large sack that's really difficult to lug around. I started making a basic box cart with a mix of structural offcuts and anything that I could use to clad around it, but made it a certain height to allow me to add caster wheels once it arrived. Luckily, the height also didn't interfere with the next thing I'll show you.
Oh, nice!
My workbench undermount drawers, a handy IKEA Trofast drawer hack. To suspend them, I found these oak offcuts in our wood burning pile, and they had a lip which was perfect to trap the drawer. If you can't find these, you could screw 2 pieces of wood together or use a rebate router bit. I used a framing square to draw a straight line and pre-drilled and screwed a first rail underneath and worked out the position of my next one, but allowing a bit of room so it wouldn't be too tight. And a stopper piece at the back so I didn't accidentally push it too far out of reach. And I had enough to create 2 drawers, perfect for the knick-knacks that I can't really find a proper home for yet. To jot down measurements, designs or lists, I was going to make a blackboard for my workshop, but I had some old laminated sheets that I found perfect with a whiteboard pen. Another thing that I wanted to organise were drills and batteries cluttering up my shelves. I had this old CD rack that I found in a skip yonks ago, but after moving house I never found a purpose for it. Until, hang on, I can mark and cut slots for my drills using a 35mm flatwood drill bit. And cut out sections with a jigsaw before pre-drilling supports in between.
I'm happy with that.
And this is something else that I'll be moving later, but to mount it for now, I screwed an offcut to an existing stud, which then allowed me to screw an L-shaped bracket to it and the shelf.
I'm happy with that.
And the upper compartments were perfect for storing batteries, or perhaps screws. It's nice to create space for new tools.